Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I'm sitting here in Stowe, Vermont at the beautiful Green Mountain Inn. And we just got back in from a wonderful lunch out with a childhood friend of my husband's. He hadn't seen since they were both 7 years old, and so almost 60 years ago. And that was really a neat experience. We went to a mom and pop diner, which I really, really loved because the mom and pop diner was a diner well, we like diners. We're diner type people. You know, my philosophy about restaurants is, I mean, there's some really nice, expensive restaurants, but to find one that's worth the money are usually it's far and few between. And so we just settle for diners, and the food's usually always good at a diner. And if it's not, then, you know, no big deal. You haven't spent a lot of money. So anyhow, we went out, we had that great lunch with his friend, and it was so cool meeting him and talking with him and everything. And we've had a great trip. And as I talked about in the previous video, I am a homebody. I've traveled so much in my life. I've lived all over the world, it seems, or not all over, but I've lived in many parts of the world, and was very adventuresome and traveled so much that now I'm at a place in life where I'm not a big traveler. And my husband wanted to make this trip for the autumn leaves because he's originally from New England. I'm not. I'm from Appalachia and then moved to California, and then of course we live in the South and have for years. And so nonetheless, you know, it was just sort of it been a wonderful trip, and I think most women or most people would be thrilled to be on this trip. But I have 3 young adult kids who are all back home, you know, watching over the house, and very responsible. And I miss them. And, you know, we're very family oriented. And normally we have never been on a trip, at least not for this length of time, without the kids, even as adults. So it's a first time for me. And it's good for them, it's good for us, but, you know, nonetheless, I'm homesick. Even on this wonderful trip. Today we went out and we took a walk. My husband has a foot that's still recovering from foot surgery when he fell and broke it. And my knee went out about a week and a half ago when I pulled my back muscle, and I started leaning a lot on my knee. Pulled my back muscle when I was planting 100 bushes. I know, it sounds silly to plant nearly 100 bushes at my age, but I did. And so when my back muscle went out, I started leaning on my right leg, and when I did that, it kind of put my knee out a little bit. So it's healing. So my husband and I were hobbling along. So we went and got some chocolate, and I did a video on that. I'll probably put that up, the Lake Champlain chocolate. And it had almonds or some kind of nuts in it. It was so good, so good. It's expensive, but it was so good. And I would show it to you again, but I ate it. And so I think we're probably going to go maybe downstairs tonight and have a little bite to eat. Maybe not. We've had a full couple days of traveling and everything. And the weather is kind of cold and dreary, although it was very pretty today. Now it's kind of dreary. And I like that. I like the dreary weather, especially when you have a little fireplace like this to sit next to and enjoy. And so I'm enjoying that. And there's so much to do. I mean, they've got a beautiful pool here outside, but it's all heated. Jacuzzi, fire pits. So maybe we'll go out and sit by the fire pits tonight. We'll see. And but my husband's taking a nap over there. He likes to take a nap. He drives, you know, he's the one that's driving this whole trip, not me. So I just kind of sit back and relax and let him do all the work. And but I really got to thinking today about, and I did this in another video, about when life hands you things that you didn't expect, that you didn't want, or things that you see coming that you can't stop. So what do you do? What do you do when things happen? You know, when you live long enough, you have a lot of opportunity, or you create a lot of opportunity. And even with opportunities, you've got to do the work once that opportunity comes, or just to even be prepared for that opportunity to seek you out so that you can do the work to, once you get it. But what about those things that you try to avoid but you can't stop in life? They can happen. They can happen to any of us at any point in time. They really can. It can happen at any point in time. And so you really, have to do the very, very best you can, in life. Sometimes you just have to do the best you can do, and that's all you can do. And I've learned that. I learned that sometimes you have to take whatever you're given and find a way to make it work for you. Find a way to either create a blessing from it or to adapt to it, to adjust to it, and make the most of it. Not everything can we control. Not everything can we stop. Not everything can we say no to. Even if we say no to it, it still happens. It could be with other people. It could be with our own lives. It could be anywhere, anything, And sometimes you have to make choices or have answers or solutions that are not perfect. Some solutions and answers are just not perfect, and you have to go with one of them anyhow. It could be, you need a job. You have to pay your rent, your car payment, and so you've got 5 choices, and none of them are your favorites, but you have to take them, one of them. And so sometimes you'll take one until you can create, or there's another opportunity that you really want. And opportunities that we really want sometimes take a while before they actually come around. Or even when we create them, sometimes they can take a while. And sometimes we have to make do with what we have, or the answer or solution. I know people that have permanent chronic problems that are never going to go away, and they've had to adapt to it and learn to navigate through it and make the most of it. And some people even turn them into blessings. So life is not always a clear pathway, and things can happen. But one thing I want to say is that when we become our authentic self, when we let people see who we really are, often the right people will enter and stay in our lives, and often the wrong people will leave our lives. And some of the wrong people will try to become part of our lives, so we have to be very discerning. But the more authentic we are, the more genuine love that will be out there. And when you're authentic, it's almost a for sure that love will find you. It's when we're not being authentic that the artificial, fake love finds us, and then we're usually disappointed with that. But genuine love, anybody, you can have any kind of situation, and if you're a good person and you have a good heart, somebody wonderful will find you. And you just got to be discerning not to pick from the wrong people that will take advantage of you. And so, but there are a lot of good people out there that will love you for who you are, and you've got to remember that, okay? So never be afraid of being who you really are and the authentic, beautiful person that you really are, okay? I don't know how to look in this camera. I've been looking this way, but I actually should have looked this way. Well, anyhow, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.